Real quick.
Let's try introing ourselves again. I'm Bell.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Alex.
I'm Plouffe.
And see, this is why the intro had to go after the names. Yeah. Now, Alex is here, our first guest, episode 4, starting off with a bang. Alex, why don't you tell us what you've chosen for Final Verdict this week?
This evening, we're going to be listening to An Evening of Magic by Chuck Mangione live at the Hollywood Bowl with Chuck Mangione Quartet and 7-piece orchestra.
Wow.
I have a very nice sleeve here. Do we discuss the sleeves on this?
Yeah, go, you can dive right into it.
We can talk about whatever you want. This is your podcast.
Freeform. Just like the jazz on this
album.
Just
like jazz.
I think it's really pretty.
It is pretty.
It is.
I don't think I've ever seen one that has a nice gatefold with like a little booklet in the middle before.
Yeah, my expectations were low, and then Alex pulled it out, and
look,
it's like, dang.
Like a. You can flip the page, Alex. Holy shit! It's got like multiple pictures of his day around the city before he recorded the podcast or the record. We're recording a podcast. He's recording a record.
Yeah. What is this? Saturday, July 15th, 1978. Yeah. Last step before the big day. Final countdown to the moment. Chuck heard in his 6th head for what? Anyway,
it's all handwritten too. He wrote that all on the gatefold. Every single
one. Yeah, he signed them all.
Yeah.
In this bit, it's talking about the traffic that day in the city.
Wow.
Nice.
Thorough.
Apparently, 18,000 fans arrived.
No. Wow.
How big is the Hollywood Bowl?
It's fairly large.
Did you know that today, what's his face got assaulted at the
Oh
Hollywood Bowl?
Dave Chappelle got beat up.
What?
He was doing a set at the Hollywood Bowl yesterday evening.
Yeah,
and
someone got mad
some
at
guy
him.
ran up on stage and like tackled them.
I don't know what the joke
That's
was.
crazy.
Probably,
No, it was unprovoked. It was just like he just ran up on stage and like laid him out, and then security took him away.
Does anyone know why? Was it like a trans rights thing or something?
No.
Wow.
The guy's brother spoke to the media today and was just like, I don't know what caused that.
Crazy.
It must have been a medical thing.
Wow.
You just get away with just saying it's a medical thing.
Yeah.
Just attack whoever.
It's a medical thing, bro. I got a
stress.
doctor's note.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh dang, he like really got him. We're getting off track
Oh,
already.
you watched it already? Yeah.
Chuck Mangione's day was interrupted by Dave Chappelle being attacked. But yeah, no, it's a super cool gatefold. I only have one like that, which is the Gorillaz Humans album, where it's like a book. But yeah, really cool.
I forgot. You're really nice pictures.
Yeah,
Holy
shout out
shit.
to his fedora.
Oh yeah. He's a class act.
That's what he's known for.
Yeah.
Chuck Mangione, flugelhorn player
Yeah.
and fedora wearer.
Mm-hmm. And spokesman of the Megalomart.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the only reason I know him. It's from King of the Hill, because he's the spokesman with his little trumpet as he walks around playing the theme song.
It's a flugelhorn.
All right, I didn't know it was. I thought this was a safe place.
Yeah.
A flugelhorn is a valved bugle.
Oh, cool. I'm glad you looked that
once.
up. Yeah, because I had no fucking idea. I knew it was like a brass horn.
See it there.
It has a.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
It has a darker tone than a cornet or a trumpet.
That's cool.
I thought it was like big circular thing, like a French horn. Is that the one that's like?
That's kind of what I
French
thought
horn.
too.
Yeah. So
No,
it
it
has
just
a
looks like a
slightly
trumpet.
different tone than a French horn, but I don't know. I like the way it sounds on
a
this
huge
album.
nerd playing
Yeah.
it. So.
I know him for like the exact same reasons, King of the Hill mostly, and it wasn't until like
And the memes.
a few years ago where I actually started listening to the music and I was like, wow, he's actually really fucking good.
Yeah, then we went and bought that. Remember when?
Yeah, I finally got a copy of Feels So Good.
Yeah, it was in the dollar bin.
Yeah, hell yeah, it was.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like my first exposure to Chuck Mangione was just in band.
Oh yeah.
In like
Okay.
grade 8, and we played Feels So Good, and I thought it sucked. And it wasn't for like many years later until I heard this record, and I was like, oh my god, that song slaps.
Yeah. It's got a funky beat. You could dance to
Yeah.
it if you really wanted to.
Yeah, it turns
That
out.
guy playing bass is nuts.
Yeah, it turns out when it's not just a bunch of 8th graders like
Yeah, it
biffing it.
Yeah,
Like,
it sounds good.
Yeah, it's way better.
The song does feel good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and I can't believe like it was a top song. It was number 21 in Billboard's year-end Hot 100 singles.
Yeah.
When like the Bee Gees had put out "Staying Alive" and "How Deep Is Your Love" and like all these other ones.
Yeah,
So,
because
like, that's crazy.
that was the year that Saturday Night Fever came out.
Yeah.
And it was also the year that people discovered that disco sucks.
He was way more popular than I first imagined, actually.
Prolific, too.
Yeah.
he did better than Baker
music
Street.
for a bunch of movies and stuff, too.
He did better than Baker Street?
Yeah.
That's a fucking banger.
and
Wow.
Queen.
Shit.
Sorry,
No, it's fine. That's interesting.
I'm closing the list. This is way too interesting.
Yeah.
Baker Street's a
he's-
banger.
Surprisingly, like, he's one of those guys who's made like 30 plus albums or whatever.
Well, did you see when his first album came out?
No.
58 or something like
Oh,
that?
okay, yeah.
So he'd already released like many albums before this came out.
Yeah, yeah.
At one point, he was releasing 3 albums a year.
No
Holy
way,
crap.
that's crazy.
Holy crap.
Some people can just write music. Like, when there's no lyrics, it's, I don't know, a little
It's
different.
melody, yeah,
But-
and jazz is very freeform,
Yes.
right? So
He actually did this cool thing. I can't remember exactly, but I was just reading up on him a little bit. He did like an album that's basically interpretations of paintings or something. Yeah, super. I was like, that is the most jazz shit I have ever heard in my entire life.
Yes, I
but it was
believe that.
super cool. I really liked the album. Like, I'll just put it that way. Oh yeah, just
What?
a little bit.
yeah,
Closer?
Just a little bit.
your waveform's kind of small. So
That's okay. James is small too, but then it sounds good once we.
hey,
Change
how about
things.
It's on the
that?
size of the wave. It's the
Yeah.
motion of the ocean.
There
It's
you
motion
go.
in the ocean. Yeah, that's right. Anyway,
Yeah, I agree. I also thought it was good. I've never really listened to smooth jazz or easy listening before.
Yeah.
And it was better than I expected. And I think maybe some of it comes down to the songs not feeling long because there are no lyrics.
Yeah.
So like I didn't mind just listening to it. It's like an hour and 40 minutes. And I was like, yeah, this is pretty good for most of the album. There is a point where it kind of shifts for me. But for most of it, I was like, yeah, this is really good. And the bass immediately is like that Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like,
Yeah.
slapped
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Crazy.
that guy's a crazy bass player. I forget his name. They shout him out several
They-
times during the album.
Yeah, I like actually how much Chuck. It's too bad he doesn't do the orchestra a little more because I thought they were actually a really cool part of it.
Yeah.
He does mention them a couple times, and there's like 70 people, so it's hard to give him
Which
all
is
credit.
funny because you've talked about how you don't like albums that shout out the band or
I know.
concerts that do.
I know.
This one was very mild though. Like it was not often. It was
Yes.
still enough to be like, hey, one person between this song, and then like 4 songs later, it's like this other person
Yeah.
and one other person later on.
I made a note that I actually normally don't like when they say the track name before every song. But I think it's a little different when it's like orchestral stuff like this, or like it's jazz and there's no
Yeah,
lyrics
you
and
wouldn't
stuff.
guess what it was called.
If you're
yeah.
not a big fan, it's not always easy to remember exactly which song is which.
Yeah, there's no way you would know that "Feel So Good" is called "Feel So Good" from its tones.
And the
right?
fact
Oh
that you
man,
feel so good
that
when
one I
listening.
actually recognize like instantly because of King of the Hill,
Sure.
because he does the intro like every episode he's on.
Which is surprisingly a lot.
Yeah.
He was in a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
Chuck Mangione still alive, 81.
Wow.
No.
Still
Oh,
releasing
shit, really?
music.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a whole like South Park episode about how Canadians love him as well?
Really?
No way, is there?
Oh, well,
Oh,
we
I don't
fell
know.
right victim to it. 'Cause
Yeah,
I think we all do.
Yeah, I think there's one where they're like, "Oh, the Canadians, they all love Chuck Mangione."
That's so
And
funny.
it is accurate,
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, they're right. It is
Chuck
great.
Mangione is from Rochester, New York, which is right on the Canadian border.
Oh, that makes sense then. There's probably a lot of pressings and stuff, a lot of recordings done up here.
I remember seeing him on PBS. So
yeah?
the WNED, which is the PBS station in Rochester or Buffalo, I guess. He used to do like the pledging. He'd be like, "Support your local PBS station," and then he'd play like a little flugelhorn bit, and
Nice.
then it would cut.
Thanks, Chuck.
It would go back to like this old house or whatever.
So why'd you choose this one, Alex?
I chose this one just because it's one of my favorite records, and it's like a jazz record that, I don't know, you listen to it and you're like, oh, this is so much better on vinyl. Like, there's something about vinyl that just gives it to it. I actually got this from my grandfather when he passed away.
Cool.
So, yeah, like it kind of just so happened that when he died, it was just as I was going into my like indie hipster get a record player phase
We've all
in
been there.
college. So I was like, heck yeah, no one else wanted them. I just took all the records. And this is easily one of the best.
Slaps.
Now you might think that my memories of listening to it would be like with him and stuff, but it's not. We basically in university, me and my friends would just get absolutely polluted downtown. It's in St. John's, Newfoundland, so like that's kind of the only thing that you
Common,
can do.
yeah. Be weird if you weren't.
Yeah, and then we would just go back and listen to old jazz records, and particularly like Chuck Mangione and Harry Belafonte.
Oh,
We would just sit down and like unconsolably like blast it and just be like, Chuck, to just take us home. Like,
I love that.
It's a fun story, actually. That's really good. That's like the story I told last week about going to the pool hall, listening to Crime of the Century.
Yeah. In the illegal pool hall.
Yeah, the legal pool hall underneath the LCBO.
I actually really liked how the whole album started. It started just like, honestly, a King of the Hill episode where he's just playing by himself solo. It's just him right at the start, and it just does the intro to feel so good. And then the rest of the band kicks on, and it's like, oh, this is great. I don't know. It's a great opener.
Sure.
leads the rest of the concert so perfectly.
The only thing I'll say about the recording, the recording is super tight. Like
Yeah.
you can hear all the musicians. You can't really hear the orchestra as well at certain points, but you never really feel like there's 70 pieces behind you.
Oh, crazy. No.
Which is nuts. But also you don't always hear the crowd, and like apparently the crowd was like f***ing nuts.
Yeah.
Because I read a concert review for this show, and I guess like people were just out there like it was a Beatles concert,
Crazy, really.
like screaming.
Well, you can really hear him at the start. I actually have a note that like you can really hear the crowd get excited as
Yeah,
soon
they're
as he
like
starts.
shouting at him too. I thought
Yeah.
they swore at him or like you suck, and I was like, oh, they're saying Chuck.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I was so surprised opening this. I haven't looked in it in a while. I kind of just in my mind imagined that the Hollywood Bowl was a very small venue
No, it's pretty
because
big,
it's
yeah.
just the recording's so good. Like you normally in the bass, you don't
Yeah.
get like the sub bass
Yeah.
of like a kick drum or the bass guitar, but they just mixed it so well. It's like, oh,
Yeah, it is an excellent mixing, and the fact that it's like recent hits and it wasn't like super deep cuts is actually really useful. To someone like I don't listen to Chuck Mangione every day, but I liked that it had some of the ones that I recognized on it,
Yeah.
like Main Squeeze. I recognize that one.
Yeah, one. I'll find the exact track. I linked a track to my friend, and I basically in my notes put this is like solo the song because it's like solos from basically everybody. But he put it on, and then his boss comes in, and he's like, "Why are you listening to Chuck Mangione?" And he rattles off the track name. Like dude's a huge fucking super fan, and he's just like, "Oh fuck, okay, yeah, I guess I got to listen to this a lot more often." His boss had always recommended it to him, but he never took a listen. And then I was finally like, "No, you gotta." You got to hear this one at least in particular, and then if you
Yeah.
like it, check out the rest. But yeah, it's just funny how the dude like walked in and just named the track instantly.
Oh man,
Speaking of tracks, let's give it one last listen and let's
Yes,
talk
sir.
about some individual tracks.
Sure.
all right.
all right.
I actually do like it's funny because I actually do love a lot of smooth jazz, but it's not a genre that I know a lot of the artists very well. It's just like there's this one English station on YouTube that just it's called like smooth jazz or something, and the dude just plays fucking hit after hit after hit, and I just listen to it every now and then when I've got to work because I love listening to music as I write, but I can only listen to instrumental shit while I write because lyrics get me distracted.
Yeah.
So I put on a lot of smooth jazz, and it wasn't until the first time I really went to school and had to like do game design stuff where I was like, I needed something that was keeping me productive but not distracting, and that's where I really fell in love with like a lot of smooth jazz. And like I like jazz, but not like just the more popular stuff. I guess it was a lot of like I don't know who's this like Gene Krupa and Buddy Rich.
Oh yeah.
A lot of drumming, but there were definitely a few tracks that I heard while listening to this. I was like, oh, I've totally heard this before while listening to the fucking smooth jazz station.
I have a lot of like Miles Davis quartets.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. I find like the studio versions of a lot of this. I don't really care for them,
Sure.
Sure.
but then when they do it live, it's like, oh heck yeah! Like,
There's a lot more soul into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like jazz is really free form flowing, right? You can do whatever you want and
Yeah.
just go with it, and solo and noodle stuff. Like I love it. Like I said, he did that weird interpretations of a painting album or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's just
There's some jazz concept albums. For example, that one that I have, the Chuck Mangione one, the Land of Make Believe one, which he plays Land of Make Believe on this album. That was sort of like a concept because it was like all the themes of Land of Make Believe, and that was what he was playing through. And that was with the 70-piece orchestra as well.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's normally like a quartet or a quintet, I think.
Yeah, he's a quartet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a 4-piece.
How many pieces until It's too large of an orchestra. 70 sounds like a lot.
70 is a lot.
Like, how do you coordinate that?
I don't know.
When does it stop adding? When does it stop adding to the music, though?
You get the maestro in there with the wave. I don't know. Honestly, that's
You
a
think
good.
5 would
That's
probably
kind
be
of a
enough.
good question, right? Because like, do you really need 20 violinists or whatever is sitting in the actual orchestra? I don't know. 5. You're right. Probably 5 or so would suffice. It does make it feel fuller. Like, I actually really like the orchestra in this one because you don't hear it as much, but I find that when you do, it really fills everything out nicely. So I actually really enjoyed the orchestral portion of it, of the recording.
Yeah.
Good.
I read the concert review. Did I say that already?
Yeah,
The
but-
one concert review was just like, Chuck Mangione burns down the Hollywood Bowl with his like hot take on like smooth jazz, and it was pretty. I was like, wow, that's
Yeah.
it's like cool. That was from the L.A. Times.
Yeah.
It's visceral.
It's smooth jazz, but he does a ton. There's a ton of like not so smooth parts.
Yeah,
Not just in the sense that it's not smooth jazz. It's more like jazz.
it's like jazz funk almost.
Yeah. It feels really funky a lot of times, which I'm a huge fan of because I love the funk, and it's kind of from the same time era.
Gotta have that funk.
Yeah, we got the funk. Gotta have that funk. So we already kind of talked about "Feels So Good," the opening track.
Yeah,
11th Commandment, the
Man,
second one.
That was probably my favorite.
fire.
I absolutely love the bass
Yeah,
on this
4
one.
minutes in, it's just like all
Yeah,
of a sudden
about a
changes.
third of the way through, I just love that whole slow section, and then the rest of the
And
orchestra.
then the drum solo, like
kicks in.
a minute
Yeah.
after, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Ram-
one's easily my favorite. And like,
Yeah.
how many songs have 2 bass solos in them?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
So good.
It was fucking fire. Yeah. Alex, what's your favorite track on the album?
Yeah.
Other than,
Oh, 11 Commandment,
11
easy.
Commandment,
Like
okay.
by
mine too.
by a lot.
Do you have a least favorite track on the album?
The one that comes after it. Which one's that?
Chase the Clouds Away.
that's
Chase
also
the Clouds
my least
Away.
favorite.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Simpsons intro, like the pan flute. I was like, what is happening here?
So I actually liked this, but it reminded me of like opening credits of a movie,
Yeah.
and someone's like driving down the coast in Los
It,
Angeles.
it weirdly reminded me of the Forrest Gump theme.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know, like where it's just like very
Yeah.
fluty.
It's like the start or the end of an old movie.
Yeah.
It's like a credits kind of track. And so it's probably my least favorite on the album. I can agree to that, but I still liked it.
It's 9.5 minutes long
It's
Yeah,
very long.
it's really pretty for like the first 3, and it's just the same thing after that.
for the next 6. Yeah.
Like going back to the whole like normally listening to it after Downtown, like this is when people would always pass out during the Chase the Clouds Away.
After that, we get
Hill Where the Lord.
Hill Where the Lord Hides.
That's
Yeah.
That's another good one.
Yeah, it's a
There's
banger.
some amazing horns and sax.
Yeah.
Again, the drum and bass lines.
Yeah.
Really energetic.
It's like an action movie.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah. Short in comparison to the rest of the set for the most part, because this one was only like a few minutes long or something.
For I Get Crazy, I think that's the shortest song on the album.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, the Children of Sanchez on the second.
Right.
God, I hate
Yeah, the
that
second finale.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like that last
okay.
LP, but we'll get to
That, so
We'll get
Children
to
of
those.
Sanchez was the next album that came out after
Well, it was
this
for a
one.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's
makes
for the
sense.
soundtrack, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I actually really liked the opener with the guitar and the bass, or was it like I couldn't tell because it was super deep, but it like at times kind of sounds like a guitar. But I love the orchestra incorporation in this track actually a lot. And then we get on to Doing Everything With You.
It's okay.
Yeah, I said that too. This was okay.
No, it was fine.
This is probably my least favorite or second least favorite, I guess, after Chase
Yeah.
the Clouds Away.
Yeah, I can't even think of what it sounds like. Like I need to
Right?
play it briefly
Yeah,
because
totally fine.
even though I've listened to this so many times, I can't think of it.
Yeah. I said it was a nice track, not bad, kind of just background music for me.
Yeah, it sounded like elevator music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like good elevator music, but
Phone waiting music.
It's reminds me of like a cop show, but it's showing the outside of the police station. I'm like, okay. Just
It's a theme.
random
It's
cars.
it's a theme song to something. Yeah.
And that's one where like a lot of them, the drums are really intricate, and that one is kind of just like the same beat
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the drummer on this album.
really good.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
We got Charles Bradley
Jr.?
Yeah, Charles
Yeah.
Bradley Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says
No,
their names
I'm
every
wrong.
time, and I forgot them all already.
James Bradley Jr. on
James
drums.
Bradley, yeah.
Sorry, James.
Charles Meeks is the bassist.
Right.
Oh, there we go.
After that, we get to Love the Feeling.
That one's also good.
Yeah.
The horns into the guitar starting at 5 minutes in. I was like,
Yes.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
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 This one, like, it caught my attention and pulled me right back after Doing Everything With You. I thought it was a really nice kind of mix of like highs and lows at the start of the whole concert, and then around 4 minutes where that sax or whatever it is comes in, I was just like, damn, and yeah, it really impressed me.
Well, is that like a flugelhorn? Just
It
rip?
might be. Honestly, it just sounded kind of too deep, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, because I'm not sure when he's playing the flugelhorn with a mute in it.
Right.
Yeah. Because like I can't. Sorry.
Saturday Night Live intro.
That has to be flugelhorn.
Has to be flugelhorn.
Yeah,
Okay.
it sounds like the Saturday Night Live intro, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
I
then-
Get Crazy's not bad. I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the quiet drums at the start.
Yeah.
How it like kind of picks up later.
I like when he talks about the intermission. He's just like, "Hey, we got a little bit more coming up for you just in a few minutes."
Yeah. That's where I should have got the hint that it wasn't an hour and it was an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, because I was just like, "Wow, this is a fucking long album." Last night in our little group chat, and he's just like, "It's not that long. It's like an hour." I was just like, "I think it's a little longer than that." And then I looked it up. It's like 101 minutes long. So you get a lot of value from Chuck. Like if
Yeah.
you had gone to a concert and he played for an hour and 40 minutes, I would feel like I got good value out of that.
The only band that I've seen do an intermission was Rush.
Yeah.
And that's because nobody opened for them. It was just Rush, and they played for like an hour, and then cut for 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then played for like another hour.
Yeah, that
after
was Roger Waters too.
Yeah,
Because
same
they had to
thing.
change like the set over and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you just had to take a break.
Yeah.
Fleetwood Mac did that when I saw them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Blue Rodeo did that as well.
Oh, cool.
They did
All
a
these
thing-
old guy bands.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah, they
did
just
the
need a
thing where
break.
they were just like, "Okay, bear with us. We're going to play our new album for you."
Everyone stands up.
And everyone was like, "Oh god!" And they were like, "Then we'll do an intermission and play all the stuff that you actually want to hear." We're like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Man,
Contractually obligated tour.
the funny thing is, I actually wrote in here at some point about how when he does the new songs later, a lot of people were probably excited, at least like really big fans, because whenever I go see a band and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna play our new song," I'm actually always really stoked
No.
because I want to hear the new shit.
That's just you.
It's just me.
Yeah, just you.
Yeah, unless the new album's a banger. Like if I want to
Sure.
hear, like I went to see the Doobie Brothers maybe 5 years ago, and they tried to play their new album, and it was like the World Gone Crazy or something like that. I think was the name of their new album, and the first song on it is Dog. And then I was just like, this sounds like the worst imitation of the Doobie Brothers I've ever
Oh
heard.
no.
Oh no.
And then they were just like, we're not going to play any more of this album. You can buy it in the lobby if you want to hear
Nobody
more.
bought one.
No, not a single human being bought it. But they're like, you want to hear China Grove? And I was like, yeah, I want to hear China Grove. That's what I came here for. So anyway, yeah, in this case, I think people were psyched to hear the new album because the new album was a banger. It was Feel So Good. That was his latest album.
Yeah,
So
that's fair. It's kind of like the whole Tommy record all over again. People were excited to hear what they
Yeah.
just put out. Yeah.
yeah. We had previously listened to The Who live at Leeds, which
Oh, yeah.
they played the entire set of Tommy.
Pretty much. There's like 2 songs missing or something.
Yeah, it's the ones that are like synth songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next, we get to Land of Make Believe.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
It's nice. Yeah. I like the guitar noodling around 3.5 minutes.
Yep.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I remember that.
Real fast. Yeah,
Yeah.
take a listen.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking dope.
That,
Yeah.
that part came on, and I was just like, fuck yeah, this is great.
Yeah. If I'm honest, most of the time when I listen to it, I do side 1
Yeah.
and dip out before Chase the Clouds Away, and then go straight to side 3.
Okay. Yeah. That's
Oh, really?
that's
Yeah.
perfectly valid. Yeah.
Like side 2's fine.
Yeah.
But like Land of Make Believe and Hide and Seek are both just so fire.
Yeah. They're
Yeah,
fine.
they
Yeah.
Really, they really are. And then they take a little break after Land of Make Believe, I think, right?
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Hide and Seek is the next track.
And they come back into shred.
I wrote more insane guitar solos.
Yeah, just absolutely shred.
This is the one that I said this is like solo the track. It's just solo after
Yeah, because
solo
then the sax
from
gets a
everyone in the
solo.
band.
And,
Yeah. It feels like just one big jam.
Mhm.
And then we get to the day after. What's the
Our first night
Our
together.
first night together. Yeah.
Romantic.
Yeah, it's a slow wake up that kind of picks up and just seems super energetic and cheerful or celebratory by the
Yeah.
end of it.
Yeah, the end all of a sudden feels very different. Again, it feels
Yeah.
like the end of Saturday Night Live.
Ah,
Yeah.
Just like,
Sure.
what
Okay.
is
Sure.
going on?
Yeah. It's like you just enjoyed a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And now you got trumpets to walk away to. And then everything falls apart.
Yeah. You did, I don't hate Children of Sanchez as much as Bell did, but like
I was ready to turn it off.
it was not a good. It's not. It's 3.5 minutes. That's thankfully.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I've listened to side 4, but like I need to turn it on right now to like remember what happens in side 4. Like, oh, Children of Sanchez isn't bad.
Yeah.
But it's a turning point of like it's a movie soundtrack. I started to check out a bit. I was like, nah.
And then he plays the other half of Children of Sanchez
Later.
Yeah.
Well, he does the main theme and then the finale.
Yeah.
For the end. I actually really like the drums and the backing horns on Children of Sanchez.
Sure.
I think they're pretty good.
And then Bye Bye
Bye-bye.
is so slow. Again, movie soundtrack. The woman has just said something on a rainy night to the lead actor who's like, dear, it's okay. And it's just like, what the hell's going on?
See you later.
I wish they'd closed with this one.
What, bye-bye?
Yeah,
Yeah,
partially.
instead of feel so good.
Because he says
Well-
bye-bye like 8 times at the end.
Yeah, he says bye-bye like 3 times.
Yeah, bye-bye now.
Like each track is like bye-bye. I don't know. I just thought they could close with it because it's a little quieter. Seems like something you could play while everyone's kind of packing up and leaving, but like not in a bad way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that just comes on the stereo when the lights are on.
Yeah, pretty much.
But they're like, JK, we still have 12 minutes left.
Yeah. Next we get to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Main Squeeze is a bop. I like that one.
Well, hold on.
You just skip right over.
Children
Yeah,
of Sanchez
the other half,
finale.
The other half of Children of Sanchez is also dog shit.
And guess what? It sounds like a finale. Why is this not the end? We still
Yeah,
have more to
that
go.
was another one that I was like, why wasn't this also chosen as like the last one?
I don't know. It was weird.
But then he does close out with Main Squeeze,
Main
kind
Squeeze is
of because
pretty
Feels So
Main
Good.
Squeeze is
list-
good.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
It still feels like Saturday Night Live. There's just a shift to the way that it's like the sax solos and the fast drums, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's so good. I like that one.
This is probably like the most jazzy song to me on the whole album. There's lots of like random kind of brass cries throughout it and stuff, just like. Bree.
It feels more freeform.
Yeah.
And then he just feels so good again, and it's not as good as the first time they do it.
No.
No.
I don't like the song anymore. It just was like too much. And it's funny because like it clearly was very popular, so I get it.
Yeah.
Like if you miss the first song as people are filing in, you want to hear Feel So Good. That's the song. But I was just like, oh, okay. And like you said, not as good as the first time because they're introducing people again.
Because like the first time, like they shred it. Like they go in there and they're like, heck
They go
yeah.
hard into Feel So Good. Yeah.
And then the second time, it's like 2 minutes shorter or something.
It's,
and
it's
just
even
like,
less.
It's like it's 6 minutes shorter because the first Feel So Good on the first side is 9 minutes long.
oh, and the last one's what, like 3 minutes?
Yeah.
3 minutes long.
Yeah. Oh my god.
He just like gives you the greatest hits of Feel So Good, and then just like see you later.
Yeah, it just feels
Thanks,
like a
Los
waste to
Angeles.
me.
yeah.
It's like the joke in Family Guy where they got the Cantina band, and it's just like, well, what do you want to play next? Play that same song.
Yeah, exactly.
The only band that I've ever seen do this, where they open and close with the same track, was ZZ Top, and it was Lagrange. They opened with Lagrange.
And the close,
They
yeah,
closed with Lagrange.
that's a choice though.
To be fair, I was like real fucking stoked on that one at least, because me and my girlfriend missed most of the opening Lagrange because we were out getting wine and stuff before the concert started. I thought for sure there's gonna be openers and like we got time.
No, ZZ Top.
they
ZZ
fucking
Top comes out.
right
And Chuck
into it.
Mangione did the same thing. He's like, I know you were a little busy.
Yeah.
Here's that song you wanted to hear.
Hell yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
But
Well,
worse.
But even if they did it the opposite way, like if the first one was like the tight 3 minute feels so good,
Yeah.
and then they got into like the 11th commandment, which is just like slow and then a complete blast, that could work pretty well. But instead, you have this, I don't know, just it's such a disappointing ending after they go so hard for so much of it.
Yeah, and it's not clear whether the encore was like after several minutes and they came back out and everyone's like, "Yeah, Chuck,
Play Feel So
come
Good
on,
again."
Chuck."
Yeah. It's
Because they cut that part out.
it's listed as an encore, but you're right. I don't know if there was like a big wait or not.
There's 4 tracks that weren't included in the album that were recorded. There's an expanded version, and instead of being 101 minutes long, I think it's like 127 minutes
Oh,
long.
wow.
He went for almost like 2 hours plus.
Yeah,
Great.
which makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think it's due to space constraints on the record that they put the tracks that they put on. But I actually don't know what the names of the record or the songs that were cut were. But like, I think there's a version of it where you can listen to them. I didn't.
I don't know if I want to. Like, if this is the best of them, and they had to cut songs, I think it's gonna be the worst ones, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you would think so because there are very few 3 LP albums. Like even now, this is a very expensive gatefold if you think about it, because like most gatefolds that have 2 LPs in them are not this in depth. This is actually really nice.
Yeah.
And this is probably because I don't think they were expecting to sell as many of them, so they could probably charge more for one like this. Because like Chuck Mangione is not exactly a household name. Like Frampton Comes Alive is the best-selling live album of all time, and it's also a double LP, and it sold like 50 million copies. Like I don't think Chuck Mangione is selling like 50 million, but if they could put good value into it and then charge a little bit more, they could probably get a little bit more out of it.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I actually like want to go get a copy. Partly now that I see it in person, I'm like, wow, that's actually a very impressive product.
Yeah.
Like
Surprisingly so.
Yeah, let's talk about the actual record itself and the package it comes in and stuff. Alex, you want to go for it?
Well, first I just want to say, like, I think that this is a record where it being a record helps it out a lot. Because, like, if it was just a CD and you had to listen to all of them just in a row, like, there are those slow spots. Like, side 2 is fine, side 4 kind of sucks. But 1 and 3 are, like, incredible.
Yes.
And records have this really great thing where, like, every 20 minutes you get an out. And so, like, especially, like, you can just put on, like, side 3, blow your friends' minds. And then after 20 minutes, you, like, throw on something else.
Mr. Plouffe, the record store around your corner, around the corner, has 3 copies for $6.99.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
Is that the good record store or the bad record store?
The bad record store.
Okay, that's fine. I'll still go there.
Yeah, they have 3 copies.
Yeah, I'm totally buying it.
I'm going to go buy one too.
Right?
There's 3 copies. There's 3 people who want it.
Wow.
Pick up all 3.
Alex, you've sold us this hard on
What
it?
time are they
Shoddy
open
the best
till?
one.
What
I
time
want
are
the
they
best,
open till?
highest quality one.
Okay, what time are they open
Hopefully ours look as nice as Alex's, though. Yours is actually in pretty good condition.
So should we talk about our vinyl verdicts?
Well, hold on. We got to talk a bit more about like the actual package.
We did.
I thought we just talked about it in the preamble a little bit while we were hanging out.
I don't know. We include it, but
No,
go ahead anyways.
Yeah, just in case. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
No.
Yeah, we kind of already looked at it, but, like, well, we did talk about how it just talks about his day.
Yeah.
And he hand wrote his journal.
Yeah.
I guess everyone had arrived by the time that the 3rd tune was there.
Ooh.
The quartet floats, the orchestra soars,
Ooh.
the excitement rages. Actually, I think that by everyone is there, I think they mean that the first 2 were just the band.
Oh, yeah.
Which, in fairness, in my mind, the songs that are the best are the ones that are just the quartet.
Fair
Fair
enough. Yeah.
They're going to be the tightest tracks, probably.
From a value proposition, I don't know how much a new pressing is worth. Let me look that up.
Oh, yeah. I wonder how
Yeah.
much like it was brand new. Probably at least like what $25 or $30 would be today.
Yeah,
Because it's a double
$12.99 or something like
Yeah.
that. It used to be a really expensive record.
Because it's a double gatefold. There's a ton on the inserts. It's like a book when you open it and look through it. Lots of like images and pictures and stuff. That stuff isn't usually included. Even the inner sleeves, we were commenting on the quality of the inner sleeves, because even those have like track listings on them, right? Like crazy. I've never seen track listings on an inner sleeve before.
Yeah.
Right?
I have a couple like that, but yes, it's
but
very
it's
rare. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that Genesis album I have has
Sure.
it on there, and it also has pictures on the sleeve, like the band, and on the opposite side of the sleeve is all the roadies.
Yeah. If you were telling me that the record store down the street was selling these used but in good condition, I'd still pay $20 for one. Honestly.
$6.99 is a great value.
Oh yeah, I'm 100% like yes, I'm gonna buy that now.
So is that your vinyl verdict?
Yeah, I mean, I would give. This is probably my favorite one so far that we've done.
Wow.
I love jazz, and I really enjoyed this album. They took it from both like a smooth jazz perspective into like a freeform jazz perspective.
Sure.
And I really appreciated all aspects of it. There was only a couple tracks that I wasn't crazy about. I even liked a couple that you guys like weren't too high up on.
Yeah, I don't think there was one that I like aggressively hated.
Sure, yeah.
Like I won't say I enjoyed Children of Sanchez.
Sure.
Like as a in comparison to the rest of the tracks that I really did enjoy.
Yeah.
But
it's still a fine song.
Also, the record is $28.99 new.
$28.99 new. Yeah.
Damn.
I would honestly buy that.
That's pretty good for a double LP on an 180 gram pressing.
Yeah.
This is actually fairly thick pressing for an old record
Yeah.
as well.
I'm very impressed. Bell, would you buy it?
I would.
Nice.
For that pricing, I don't know. For $6.99, yes.
$6.99.
Yeah.
$6.99.
yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't that what you said?
$7 for two.
Isn't that what you said at the record store had it as?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you said 16.
No.
No, yeah,
I pay
yes.
$6.99 for it
Yeah.
easily. Would I pay $28?
No,
Maybe.
probably not.
If you haven't been in a good mood, but probably not because that last.
Man, I got a gift
yeah,
card to
like-
that store. Someone gave it to me for Christmas.
There you go. You just got
Free
Chuck
record.
Mangione
Yeah.
for Christmas. I like that there wasn't a ton of talking. I'm not a huge fan of band introductions or random inserts either.
Yeah.
It doesn't negatively impact the experience.
Sure.
But I would prefer to go without it. I liked it a lot more than I thought, and I would totally just have it on in the background and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And there was way more shredding than I ever would
Yeah.
have thought.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, this
They
just
go
straight
hard.
rocks.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of unique sounds, so I was never really bored even without the lyrics. I was still engaged enough while I was doing my own thing to be I really enjoy this. Of course, the album dragged at the end for me, and I would never put it on. I wasn't a big fan of Children of Sanchez on, and even that last third side is okay, but it's really that first half that got it for me, even though I did not like Chase the Clouds Away.
Yeah.
I did not like that one, but still not too bad. Overall, I'd probably give it a solid 8.
Sure.
Yeah.
Solid 8. I'd put it above the Beth's Future Me
Ooh.
Hates Me and below The Who Live at Leeds.
Okay.
I still prefer The Who, but this was really good. Really good.
I think about an 8 is probably around where I'd put it too. This is probably at the top for me though.
8 out of 13, by the way.
No, I'm not doing 13 anymore. This is 8 out of 10. I would. This is probably I'd put this at the top of everything we've listened to so far. Partly because I haven't heard it before.
Yeah.
But I have heard some of the songs on it
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least. So I was yeah, okay, sure. The Who was great, but I'm sick. I fucking hate Tommy. So I'm whatever. And all the Tommy tracks, I'm whatever. Yeah, definitely above The Who and the other two albums, even though I picked the Beths and I liked it. But yeah, at the top. for
Really?
sure.
You picked it? You like it better than the album that you picked yourself?
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
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 So do I.
Yeah. Because that album sucks.
Well, what would you
Jor-
give this album?
What would I give this album? Oh man, this album, because I still do it out of the 13 scale. Give it maybe a 10 out of 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
I listened to it while I was folding laundry last night, and I was
That's a
having a
good
good
call.
time. I listened to it on my headphones, and I was just you know what? It's not 10 o'clock yet. There's no noise complaints.
Hell yeah.
So I put it on my stereo, and the fucking it was so bassy at one point, the one that has the double bass solo in it, that it started walking the one tower speaker across the floor, and I had to tone it down a little.
And there were no sound complaints until we got to Children of Sanchez. People were just turn it off.
Turn it
Turn it off.
Turn it off.
It's not too loud. I just don't
Feels
want to
so
listen.
bad.
Feels so bad.
But no, I like it. Knowing how much I could pick one up for, even though the record store is closed as of 5 minutes ago. I know, right?
Okay, tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll go tomorrow. Definitely, I'll pick this up. $7, why not?
Totally.
Sure. And it's fun to listen to. Like if I was making dinner, I would put this album on.
Yeah, I think one of the best times to listen to it is just on a really long road trip.
Sure.
Because then even the songs that kind of drag, you don't necessarily care if you're just oh yeah, Chase the Clouds Away hits pretty good when you're just looking at a mountain being oh, beautiful mountain.
Totally.
Got the pan flute in the background.
If you hadn't basically inherited this album, Alex, would you buy it again?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Jake said, the shredding is just insane.
There's some
They
good-
go so hard.
Yeah, there's some really good musician work on
Yeah.
this. Yeah. Sorry to cut you off there, Alex.
Very impressive. Yeah. Cool.
That's it.
Yeah. Any final thoughts? Anyone? No?
No, next week we're going to be doing my choice, which is Slide by George Clanton, which I am very excited about.
Yeah.
Very, very excited. No spoilers, but one of my favorite albums of all time.
No
Cool.
kidding.
So
Looking
we'll
forward
be
to
listening to that. Something a bit different from what we've listened to so far.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
No live music.
Yeah. No more live albums for a while, probably.
No hour and 40-minute ones. The Who Live Leads.
What was longer, the Who Live at Leeds or
I don't know.
I don't know.
The
Let's
Who
look
Live
it
at
up.
Leeds feels longer. So
Yes,
it's
'cause
funny.
Tommy
I do prefer
drags
it, but
on.
it feel no. See, I like Tommy. So even though I liked this one, it still felt longer. Like the Who Live at Leeds. So I don't know.
1 second.
They're pretty close. The Who Live at Leeds
gotta
is
be.
like almost the same fucking amount. They're,
Okay, so the issue that I have is 129 minutes 30 seconds long.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
So it's
this
like a
one's
half an
longer.
hour longer.
Yeah, just about. And then there's a 239-minute release that I don't actually have. That would be interesting. I'd listen to
Crazy.
that.
Yeah.
There, you can make that your next
Because
choice.
they played 2 shows. I think it's just both
Right.
shows. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So-
Right
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us, Alex.
Yeah.
All right.
Come back anytime.
I shall.
All right.
Very good.
Bye.
Goodbye.
See you later.
Thank
Good
thank
evening.
you for listening.
Final verdict.